Hey y'all, I'm Faith Larnett, and welcome to my channel where we're all about feeling good and finding balance. If you like videos like this, then stick around. Today, I'm going to help you set up your Anki remote for Windows. So, this is my Anki remote here, and this is actually my second one because I got an Anki upgrade and it stopped, like, one of the keys, not, I had a pink one before, and one of the keys like stopped working, and I was like, oh no, this is not gonna work. But yeah, really quickly, I wanted to make this video because I literally had the Anki remote throughout my first year of medical school, and I did not use it because I could not figure out how to connect it to Windows. It seems like all of the videos and advice for setting up an Anki controller and is geared for Macs, and I was so frustrated, and it wasn't until I realized I had to, I tried it again one day, and it kind of clicked, and I had to reconfigure. I had to it took a lot of research and a lot of Reddit pages and kind of like playing around with it, and I figured it out. So I wrote down the steps, and I'm going to go through that with you, and I'm going to help you set up your Anki remote for Windows specifically. I have an HP, and yeah, so I figured it out. So there's going to be a couple of things you need to know first. So I'm going to be looking down at my notes, but there's going to be a couple of things you need to do for like prep work. First, download Anki. If you don't know, Anki is a fantastic. Well, if you're here, you probably know what Anki is. But just for those who don't know, Anki is a really good flashcard tool, and it's basically like a space. It has an algorithm that builds in space repetition, and space repetition, active recall are some of the best ways to retain information for long term. So that's why it's super popular among medical students. And Anki Remote helps you get through cards faster. And it helps like gamify the flashcard process. So that's why it's really important to have. Well, you can go by without having one, but it makes it a lot more fun to actually have one. So, first, you want to download Anki. Second, you want to open Anki and hover around the shortcuts. So this is actually where I'm going to. So this is actually where I'm going to switch to the full screen. I can share my screen. Hey y'all, editing Faith here. So I went back to look at the footage, and it didn't record a lot of, it just had like a voiceover of my tutorial, but the screen recording didn't actually record what I needed it to. So instead of giving up, I am re-recording it. So that's what you're about to see, the re-recording and the full tutorial now. Okay, so right now we're at the stage where I like to still call it the prep work, and I'm gonna show you how to. We're gonna first find like what buttons we actually want to use to program our Anki remote with. So I'm on Anki now. I've already done my review cards for the day, and I opened up some new cards just for demonstration purposes. But you want to go over here to Tools. Oh my goodness! You want to go to. Oh, okay. You want to go to Tools, and then Preferences. And then you want to go to review, and this is where you'll find the commands. So these are like the buttons, the easy, the again, hard, good, easy buttons on Anki, and then these are the corresponding keyboard keys. So take a screenshot, write this down, do whatever you got to do to remember this. Also, you want to remember that there is the space bar, that's the show again, or like the show card button. So like the button that actually shows the answer to your flashcard, that's the space bar. So you want to write that down as well. Okay. So once you have this together, you want to, these are the notes that I have. So far in the prep work, we have downloaded we have downloaded Anki, we have written down our commands here, and now you want to plan what the buttons are and what action you want to match with Anki. And you also want to download the software JoyToKey. That is very important. That's how we're going to actually correspond our program our Anki remote to the um, our Anki remote to our actual keyboard to these buttons. But right now we're at the planning stage. So this is, let me open this up more. So this is the actual, I just got this screen recording from Google. Like I just Googled a screenshot of the remote and I just wrote down what I wanted each button to do. And I really appreciate this because I'm able, with this configuration, I'm able to take my remote and I could like use it this way, or I could use it right side up, or with this side. I can use it like one handed. It doesn't matter which hand, doesn't matter which direction. And I can use it like as an actual like remote, as an actual keyboard or game controller. I don't play video games, but as an actual game controller. So that's why I like this configuration. And what we're gonna do is program the remotes to have these. So the right and left buttons are show answers, the arrows again on top, good, easy. And then I like to have a scroll down button here. And this is because some Anki cards have more information towards the bottom of the card. So I wanted to have the down arrow be the scroll down, and then the B key, the B button become. I wanted the B button to be a scroll up key. Wow, I did not expect that sentence. So this is the goal. This is what we're working for. So now that you've written down what, and once you write this down, save it, because in case you get other Anki remotes, or in case something goes wrong, or like you need to restart it or something, you'll have this mapped out already, so you don't have to figure out like what you want each key to do. So now that we have this written down, we are going to pair our Anki remote to our computer. So what you do is you just go to Bluetooth and you hit add remote and other devices, and then you turn it on by hitting X start at the same time, select for 2 seconds. Again, that's X start select. That's really important because your game controller is going to come up, your remote is going to come up as the game controller. Now, if you hit another keyboard and towards the back here, like on the back of their controller, there's going to be like some is like a shortcut about like how to turn it on for the first time, but you want to make sure that you hit the game controller icon. Like if you have if it shows up as a keyboard, don't hit that because JoyToKey is not going to be able to recognize it. JoyToKey is going to recognize a game controller, so you need to hit the game controller icon. That's super important. Okay, so now that we have this connected, I'm going to open up our JoyToKey app. This is what it looks like. And I already have one keyboard set up, but this was from my old Anki remote, so I'm going to make another one. You hit create, and then you just type in what you want to name it. I'm going to call it Faith's Blue Anki remote. Very simple. Love that. Okay. So now I'm just going to hit some buttons, and this is what you want to do. Like, you want it to light up. That means it's connected. That means it's doing what it's supposed to do. So now I'm going to get my configuration, put this to the side. My computer's acting slow. Okay, we're gonna put this to the side just so I can see what I want each button to do. And I'm also gonna scroll up to see what I want the keyboard commands from earlier. Oh goodness. Okay, now we're doing it. Okay, cool. So, so let's just start with the right and left buttons. So we're gonna hit this, and I'm just gonna click on the right and left and see what lights up. So I'm hitting the left space bar, and 5 is lighting up. So you double click on 5, and then you hit what you want it to do. I want this to be the show answer key, so I'm going to hit space and move to the side. And then you hit OK. And boom, that's all there is to it, really. You just repeat this step. So I'm hitting the 6, the so okay, actually I misspoke. I hit the left button and now I just hit the right button. But it's the same command. I both want them to be space bars, so I hit space. And now whenever I hit and now these buttons, the right and left button, are programmed. So we're going to do that again for the arrow side. So I want the top arrow to be again. So the arrow's going up, double clicking, and according to my little answer key, not answer key, my little shortcut again is number one. So I'm hitting one, hit OK. There we go. It's configured. I want the down arrow to be scroll down. So I want the down arrow to actually be the down arrow. So I'm hitting the down arrow. Okay. I want the left arrow to be good. And I'm recognizing I don't really mess with like the hard key, so I don't really have that program, but I do have the easy key on here. And I don't really use that too often either, but I do like to have it in case, like, sometimes there's a flashcard that doesn't have any information, so I like to make that easy so it's pushed back even further. But right now we're doing the left arrow, and I want that to be good. So I'm hitting 3 for good, hitting OK, and then I want my right arrow to be easy. So I'm hitting 4, and then we're hitting OK. And there we go. We just programmed the left side, our arrows for the Anki remote. So I'm going to go with the right side with the buttons, the letter buttons. So I'm going to start with X. So hitting X, X corresponds to button 4. So I'm going to double click that. And I want X to be again. So I'm hitting 1 for again. And these keyboard shortcuts might be different. I'm not really sure if they're different for like each computer. So just make sure you look at what is what and you write that down. Okay, back to programming. I'm going to do B. I want the B button to be scroll up. So I'm going to hit the up arrow, hit OK. I want the Y button to be easy. So you can also, instead of double clicking, you can just hit edit button assignment. And easy is 4. So programming it with 4. And then I want A to be good. So I want A to be good. Good is 3. Okay, cool. So next I'm going to just program the start and select keys just for completion's sake. And I want the start key to actually be the start button. And this is a good point. So I'm hitting the start key and not seeing it light up. Just scroll down because it's typically somewhere else. Okay, so now I double click on the start key and I want to program that to be the start button. So I just hit the start button and see I hit the start button, it happens. Okay. Hit OK. And then I want the select key to be the enter button. So, okay, and hit enter, hit OK. And there we go. All the buttons are configured, all the buttons have been programmed. Enjoy the key. So, another point to make here is that any time you use Anki, you have to have the JoyToKey application on. So, it's just, you have to open up JoyToKey in the background. But if you want to close it, you just hit File, and then you hit Exit, and that'll close the program. Okay, so now I want to go back to my Anki and just test out these features just to make sure all the buttons are where I need them to be and like that everything's working. My Anki has been so slow today. I do not know what's going on, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like how slow it's being today. But yeah, we're doing this in real time, people. Okay. So I'm gonna hit study now. And I only opened these cards for what is it? Like, these are cards. I need to watch the video for these cards still. So I'm just going to do a couple just to make sure that the buttons are working. But this is not, like, I haven't seen this information yet. So this is new for me. I haven't seen these cards yet because I've already done my review cards for the day. Okay. So, Plumber Vincent Syndrome, Triad of, I haven't seen this. So I'm just going to hit the space bar for show card. Okay, so I hit the right key. It came up another. It's just because my screen is lagging because the my app's being slow. But it came up again, so I'm gonna hit X for again, and it should go to the next card if it's working. Okay, it went to the next card, so that means it's working. I'm not gonna continue because it's being slow. But yeah, so those are all the steps for how to reprogram an Anki remote, how to pair it to your computer, what application, like how what keys to use, how to work JoyToKey. So thank you. Thanks for rocking with me. Okay, so we have successfully reprogrammed the Anki remote for Windows. And again, my biggest advice is when you're pairing your remote to your computer to set it up as a game controller, not a keyboard. If you set it up as a game controller, JoyToKey is going to be able to recognize it. If you set it up as a keyboard, JoyToKey is not going to recognize any of the buttons. It's not going to recognize your remote. And I avoided using my Anki remote for a year because I could not figure that out for the life of me. All the videos out there that I've seen did not were for Macs, and they did not say that one part about the game controller. So when I realized that I had to set it up as a game controller, it clicked like that, and it was so easy to do after that point. It's smooth sailing from that. So, and to do that, you want to hit X start at the same time and then select for 2 seconds. And also, you have these. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, okay. I don't know if you can see it. But there's, on the back of your remote, there's little, like, shortcuts on how to turn it on. So, yeah, I thought that was helpful. So, that is my video. Oh, one more thing, too, is when you're using your Anki remote, like, when you're using the remote, you have to have JoyToKey on in the background, or else that's not going to work either. So yeah, that is how you set up an Anki remote in real time. So thanks so much for coming around. If you like videos like this, I make feel-good content about trying to be balanced, about being in medical school, and living my life, navigating my 20s. So if you like stuff like that, come around. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And again, thank you so much for coming. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Okay, bye.